I love making you believe that what you get is what you see. But I'm so fake happy, I feel so fake happy. And I bet everybody here is just as insincere. We're all so fake happy, and I know fake happy.
Sorry I haven't uploaded a video in a long time. I originally made this video and didn't like it because I was just blabbering off. I think I was just super excited to talk in front of the camera, and I think that's what I'm doing again, so I'm gonna stop. So kids are a blessing, right? They're our future, even our present. A lot of people I went to school with are already having their first child, or maybe second, or maybe third. But anyways, a lot of people I went to school with are having babies now and starting a family. I'm sure it's exciting to create your own human little being. Watching them take their first step, waiting to see if they're gonna say mama or dada first, seeing them cute clothes, and really paying attention to them to see what kind of personality they're gonna have. But what happens when your perfect little angel starts acting like the devil? I'm not talking about tantrums or throwing attitude, but what if they start showing interest in like killing birds, or they start showing interest in guns, or their anger is kind of advanced for their age? That's what I'll be talking about today. Not the cute babies that everybody's starting to form, but the devils that came out of them. Number 5, Morgan Geyser and Anissa Wire. I put this one on the bottom of my list because there's so many videos about them out there. My favorite YouTubers, Stephanie Harlow, Kendall Ray, talk about this case. If you want to know more about it, Stephanie Harlow actually goes really in depth with the case, so I think you should definitely check her out. So there's 3 12-year-old kids I'll be talking about. Peyton Lutner, who was friends with Morgan Geyser since they were in kindergarten, and Anissa Wire, who became friends with them later on. Morgan and Anissa became really close. What they didn't know at the time is that Morgan was an actual schizophrenic. If you don't know what schizophrenia is, it's a disease that people have where they do hallucinate things and they tend to make fictional things into reality, and they actually believe it's true. Anissa was a new girl and became friends with Morgan. Anissa had showed Morgan creepypasta, and that's where she introduced her to Slender Man. Morgan became obsessed and started sending her all kinds of links about Slender Man, just kind of proving it that's more true, and she said that she actually saw Slender Man. If you don't know who Slender Man is a fictional character that was made up on creepypasta, a site where people tell scary stories. It's alleged that Slender Man pretty much steals kids, mind controls them, or kills them. Just this long, faceless creature that's dressed up as a man in a tuxedo. But Morgan truly believed that he was real, so much that she did convince Anissa that he was real, to the point where they actually made a plan to sacrifice their mutual friend Peyton in order to become one of Slender Man's prophets. The girls start planning weeks before the actual murder took place. Morgan decided to have a sleepover for her birthday. Of course, Peyton and Anissa attend to this sleepover. They go skating, eat pizza, and then went back home to get ready for the sleepover. The original plan was to kill her that night, but they, quote, gave her another morning, end quote. So they go to the park the next day. They wanted to kill her in the bathroom, but then they backed out. Created another plan. They took her to nearby woods to play hide and seek, and this time they actually decided to follow through. They took a kitchen knife with a 5-inch blade, stabbed her 17 times. Peyton screamed in pain and told them that she couldn't see and that she hated them. And Anissa said that they were gonna go get her help, but they never did. Instead, because they think they actually were successful in their plan in killing Peyton, they were going over to Slender Man's mansion to be his prophets. Where they were going to was about a 5-hour drive from where they lived. Meanwhile, while those girls are walking on foot, Peyton's fighting to survive. She dragged herself out of the woods onto the road where she laid bleeding. Luckily, a biker who ignored a closed sign on a bike trail went on the bike trail anyways, and ended up finding Peyton on the ground where she was lying. Called the cops, and then the ambulance came to pick up Peyton. The doctor said that Peyton was less than a centimeter from dying. She recovered in 7 days and went back to school. Morgan pleaded guilty, but was found not guilty due to insanity. And Anissa pled guilty second-degree murder, which I don't get because that totally was not second-degree murder, especially because they found emails between the girls planning this murder. But I don't know. If you guys want to go ahead and, like I said, definitely check out the video that Stephanie Harlow made on it. She goes into really good detail about everything on this case. Number 4, Barry Dale Lecotte. On February 2nd, 1996, Barry was dressed as a Wild West style gunslinger, wearing a black duster. He was armed with a .30 caliber hunting rifle and a handgun that was owned by his father, and was holding approximately 200 rounds of ammunition. Barry walked from his house to his school, where he entered his algebra classroom during his 5th period. He opened fire at students, killing 2, Arnold Fritz and Manuel Vela Jr. Both were 14 years old. Another 13-year-old student, Natalie Hintz, had a critical gunshot wound to her arm and abdomen and had to be airlifted to the medical center. Barry then shot his algebra teacher in the chest. Teacher and coach John Lane entered the classroom upon hearing the gunshots. He walked in to see Barry holding one of his classmates hostage. He planned to use his hostage so that he could exit the school safely. Teacher and coach Lane then volunteered as hostage. They kept him at gunpoint with his rifle. Lane then grabbed the rifle from Barry and wrestling him to the ground, and then assisted in evacuating the student. Lane kept Barry subdued until authorities had showed up. A year prior to the shooting, Barry's family was facing a lot of dysfunctional issues. Barry's parents separated in 1995 after Barry's mom had divorced her husband because she found out he was cheating. She filed for divorce in 1996. His mother, Jo Ann Phillips, was a domineering woman and became increasingly distant and began speaking of suicide. She would frequently imply that Barry, her son, would also have to commit suicide, and that the date of the double suicide would be on Valentine's Day of 1996. Barry talked his mother out of doing so by having her write down her feelings. Psychologists hired by the defense believed that Barry had suffered either from depression or bipolar disorder. Barry claimed that he only tried to kill Manuel Vela and that the other deaths were accidental. In June 1996, they were deciding whether 15-year-old Barry should be tried as a juvenile or as an adult. On September 24th, 1997, Barry was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of second-degree murder, 1 count of attempted first-degree murder, and 16 counts of aggravated kidnapping. He was sentenced to serve 2 life sentences, additional of 205 years without the possibility of parole. Number 3. Jose Reyes. Jose Jaricio Reyes was born in Reno, Nevada. He had 2 younger sisters and grew up partially in Arizona. Early 2012, Reyes' father was charged with and pled guilty to misdemeanor child abuse for an incident involving his son. I didn't really look into what exactly he did, but it just said that he was charged with a misdemeanor child abuse. Jose left 2 suicide notes claiming he was bullied and had taken the antidepressant Prozac and an antipsychotic drug. On October 21st, 2013, Jose Reyes, a 12-year-old student in 7th grade, opened fire with a semi-automatic handgun at the basketball courts of Sparks Middle School. He injured a 12-year-old boy named AJ Kersey in the shoulder. Michael Lansbury, a 45-year-old math teacher, was just trying to stop Jose. He ended up shooting and killing him in the playground. Then shot another 12-year-old student, Mason Davis, who was just trying to help the math teacher. Mason suffered an injury to his abdomen. Jose then committed suicide by shooting himself in the head. Shooting happened in the morning before classes had started. The school was evacuated and closed for a week. Number 2, Mitchell Johnson, who was 13 years old, Andrew Golden, who was 11 years old. On March 24th, 1998, boys rode in a van to Westside Middle School. After arriving to school at 12:30 p.m., Andrew pulled the fire alarm, while Mitchell took some weapons from the van into the woods close by where the school was at. I'm sure you guys done fire drills at schools, right? You have to get in a single file line, everybody's lining up at a certain place, not facing the school, etc., etc. You guys all done that. So what they did is they pulled the fire alarm. They were hiding out in the woods that was close to their school and started shooting everybody who was lining out outside. At first, teachers and students didn't believe this was real. There was a lot of confusion going on. Some teachers thought it was just a stimulation to make the kids take the drill seriously. Other teachers had told students that it was just a construction that was happening in the 5th grade building. Others believed it sounded just like fireworks. But that's not at all what happened. They killed 4 students, 1 teacher, and wounded 9 students. and 1 teacher. Mitchell and Andrew tried to run away in their van, but were caught by police. They were apprehended about 10 minutes after the shooting began. The boys did plan on running away. They had food, sleeping bags, survival gear in their van, so they were just planning on escaping afterwards. They were convicted of 5 murders and 10 assaults, and were each imprisoned until they were 21 years of age. Isn't that crazy? Like, they literally shot up a school, killed 5 people, injured 10, and they didn't even get charged with all of them, and then they only have to go to jail until they're 21. Like, I don't get it. Like, that's where life begins, is at 21. That's when they're actually gonna start fucking up. Whatever. Number 1. I saved this one for last because of his age, pretty much. So, yeah. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, but I'll just put it down below. I'm gonna name him Amarjit Sada. Amarjit Sada. I'm just gonna call him Sada. He was only 7 years old when it was reported that he killed for the first time. He's known as the world's youngest serial killer. He had allegedly killed 3 people by the age of 8. The young boy from India was born in 1998. In 2006, Amarjit allegedly killed his 6-year-old cousin, his uncle's daughter. Shortly after, it is believed that he had killed his own 8-month-old baby sister. Some of Sada's family members and other members of the village were reportedly aware of his crimes, according to his uncle. But in 2007, Sada killed his neighbor's 6-month-old baby, Khushbu. Khushbu's mother left her at a primary school to sleep while she did some chores. When she returned, Khushbu was gone. Villagers who knew about Sada's crime confronted him about the baby's disappearance. Like, they already knew. This boy's wild, he probably done did it. He apparently confessed to police, showed no remorse while he recounted the gory details of how he murdered and buried Khushbu. After the arrest, he then confessed to the murders of his cousin and his sister. Apparently, he killed them all the same way. He took the children to the fields, hit them with a stone, and then killed them. Police also said that when he was being questioned, that the boy just smiled and asked for biscuits. Like, this is why I'm not gonna have kids. The child was evaluated by professionals and was found to be suffering from conduct disorder. Now, I don't know what that is, but it sounds like something that you can't control, and it sounds like something that people just get. So, like, I do want a mini-me. I think it would be cute, but what if my mini-me kills me? No. Under Indian law, a child cannot be sentenced to death or sent to prison, but can be detained at a children's home until the age of 18. So, he didn't do time. He just pretty much maybe, and it doesn't even say, got sent to a foster home after killing 2 babies and another little kid. That is it. That's my list of kids that are just terrible, and like I said, there's a lot of people out there having kids right now, and I'm not one of them, and me and my boyfriend don't intend on having any kids soon. So yeah, I mean, I like kids. I'm just joking around when I say this. Everybody who is having a kid right now, you guys definitely are having a lot of blessings that are coming your way, and I know you guys are all gonna be awesome parents, but I just think it's wild how just a kid could do this kind of stuff, right? It's just insane. I don't know, man. This is just always the stuff that gets to me after I'm done reading it. I'm just like, especially those shootings, because they were so young. It happened in middle school. Like, that's just crazy, man. But yeah, anyways, that is it. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, comment, send me suggestions, you know, all that good stuff. But most of all, definitely subscribe and share my videos. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I don't know when that'll be, but I'll try to put one up by next week. So I'll see you guys next week. Bye.